I invited my entire family to my graduation, a moment I'd worked toward for 6 years while working 2 jobs and raising my son alone. I reserved seats, paid for catering, and printed custom programs. As I crossed the stage, I scanned the crowd. Not one familiar face. Later, my cousin posted a picture on Facebook, family brunch at the lake house. When I confronted them, my mother said, "You always make everything about you." We needed a break. My son hugged me and whispered, "They don't deserve you, Mommy." I'm 34 years old. I had Jonah when I was 21. His father left when he was 2 months old. No child support, no visits. Just vanished. My whole life after that turned into survival. I worked nights unloading trucks at the Kroger warehouse in Louisville. I picked up shifts at a bar near downtown on weekends. The rest of my time was divided between school, my son, and whatever was left of my energy. I started college late. I had to. My life didn't give me the luxury of a traditional path. So when I enrolled in the adult degree program at the University of Louisville, I promised myself I'd finish it no matter how long it took. I took 2 classes per semester. Sometimes 1. I used every free dollar for tuition and books. There were nights I didn't eat so Jonah could. I studied while he watched cartoons or slept next to me on the couch. I walked to class in the winter because the car broke down and I couldn't afford repairs. My hands bled from work, and I'd still stay up writing essays and doing discussion posts. I had no time to waste. No safety net. Just me and him. But I did it. After 6 long years, I earned my bachelor's degree. I was proud, not just for me, but for Jonah. I wanted him to see his mom do something hard and finish it. I sent out graduation announcements early, mid-February. I wrote personal notes inside each one. It would mean so much to me if you were there. I booked a private room at a family-friendly restaurant near campus. I ordered catering, even special desserts with my name and graduation year. I made little programs with my favorite quotes and a thank you note at the end. I invited my mother, my sister Heather, my cousin Stacy, Aunt Marla, Uncle Donnie, and even my grandma. They all said yes. The ceremony was on a Saturday. May 17, 11 a.m. I had everything laid out the night before. My cap and gown. Jonah slacks and button-up. His little clip-on tie. He was so excited. He kept asking, "Are Grandma and Aunt Heather gonna cheer for you?" "I think so, baby," I told him. They said they would. We got there early. I helped him find his seat with one of the ushers and left him with a volunteer from the daycare center on campus. I kissed his cheek and whispered, "Mommy did it." As I lined up with my class, I scanned the rows of seats where my family was supposed to be. I saw the name cards I made. 8 of them. Front 2 rows. Empty. I kept looking. Maybe they got stuck in traffic. Maybe they sat somewhere else. Nothing. When they called my name, I crossed the stage and smiled anyway. I looked out one last time. Just rows and rows of strangers. But in the back, by the side wall, I saw Jonah. Standing on his chair, waving both arms. That's the only moment that mattered. After the ceremony, I took him to the restaurant. He asked if we should wait. We waited. I stared at the door. 15 minutes. 20. 30. No one came. I called my sister. No answer. I texted my mother. "Hey, where are you? Is everything okay?" Nothing. We ate alone. Jonah told me the mac and cheese was the best he ever had. I boxed everything up and left most of the cake untouched. That night, around 9 p.m., I opened Facebook. Stacy had posted a photo. Her caption, "Family brunch at the lake house." Just what we needed. I stared at it for a full minute before I could even breathe. They were all there. My mom. Heather. Aunt Marla. Uncle Donnie. Even Grandma. They wore summer clothes, sandals, sunglasses. Mimosas in hand. Plates of food. Laughing. Not a single one of them had even texted me. I called my mom. She picked up on the third ring. Hello? You knew what today was, I said. You knew. She didn't even sound sorry. Just tired. Sarah, not everything is about you. We needed a break. Everyone's been stressed. Your graduation isn't the only thing going on. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just went quiet. You've always had this need for attention, she added. It's exhausting. Then she hung up. I sat there, holding my phone. Jonah crawled into my lap and said, "They don't deserve you, Mommy." That's when something snapped in me. I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything. I just stood up, cleaned the living room, and made a new promise to myself. They'd wanted a break from me? Fine. They were about to get one they couldn't come back from. I didn't answer any of their calls after that night. Not that there were many. Just a lazy text from Heather 2 days later, "Hope graduation went okay. We had a thing come up. Talk soon?" And a voicemail from my aunt saying, "Sorry we missed it, hun." No one apologized. Not really. I never responded. A week later, I changed my number. I deleted every family member from Facebook, except Stacy. I wanted her to see that I saw her post. She eventually blocked me. I didn't care. I stayed quiet for 2 months. Then I started working on my new plan. I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to confront them. That's what they expected. I was going to do the thing they never thought I'd do, cut them off and build a life where they didn't matter. The first thing I did was drop out of the family group chat. No warning. Just left. When my cousin's baby shower invite came in the mail, I didn't RSVP. When Heather texted from a new number. "Mom wants to know if you're coming to the 4th of July cookout," I didn't answer. I sent Jonah to summer camp on scholarship that July. He came home happy every day. I used the quiet time to build a resume and started applying to jobs with my degree. I landed one in September, administrative coordinator at a medical center. Better hours. Better pay. Benefits. The kind of job no one thought I'd ever get. Jonah started 3rd grade that fall. I bought him new clothes. We moved into a 2-bedroom apartment closer to school and work. I finally let myself exhale. In November, I got a letter in the mail. From my mother. It wasn't handwritten. She'd typed it. "I'm sorry if you felt hurt by us not coming to your graduation. But we all felt attacked by how distant you've become. You've always been emotional, and that makes it hard for people to support you sometimes. If you're willing to stop being so cold, we can talk." I read it twice. Laughed the second time. That's what they thought. That I owed them something? I ripped the letter up and threw it out. But I didn't stop there. When December came around, I mailed out Christmas cards. Not to them, to the professors who supported me, the daycare staff who watched Jonah during my classes, the manager at Kroger who let me nap in the break room during finals week. Each card said, "Thank you for believing in me. We made it." I posted one of the cards on Instagram. Just that line. No explanation. A few days later, Heather tried calling again. I let it ring. Then she texted me. "You're seriously cutting off the entire family over one day?" I finally replied. "No. I'm cutting off the entire family for the years you didn't show up, and the one day that proved you never would." That was it. No reply. I thought I was done. But I wasn't. Because in March, I got an email from the university asking if I'd speak at a panel for adult graduates. I agreed. When the video went online, it got shared a lot. I spoke about raising a child alone, about late nights and self-doubt, and about how sometimes the people you expect to lift you up just don't. That clip made it to local news. And then to my mother's Facebook wall, where people started commenting, "So proud of her. What a journey. Your daughter is amazing. She tried to spin it, she's come so far." Like she'd been part of the story. That's when I made my move. I posted a comment. "You weren't there. You all went to brunch. Don't pretend you helped build what I had to build alone." It got over 300 likes. Her friends started asking questions. I didn't say anything else. But I could tell, it hit them hard. A week later, she deleted her post. "Heather tried again. You didn't have to do that." But I did. And I wasn't done yet. A month after the video blew up, I got a message from someone I never expected. My grandmother. Not a Facebook comment. A real letter. Handwritten. Shaky cursive. "I saw your video. I didn't know everything you were going through. I'm sorry I wasn't there. That was wrong. I don't expect forgiveness, but I wanted to say I'm proud of you." I stared at it for a long time. It was the only real apology anyone had given me. The only thing that didn't try to blame me. I didn't write back. Not right away. I needed time to figure out if I believed her. That same week, Jonah came home from school with an invitation. It was for a family heritage project. Bring in a family tree, talk about where you come from, who you admire. He looked up at me and asked, "Can I talk about just us?" I nodded. "Of course, baby." He smiled. "We don't need anybody else, right?" It hit me then, he didn't even miss them. They had erased themselves. But they weren't done with me. 3 weeks later, I got served. Certified mail. A letter from a lawyer. My mother was filing for temporary guardianship of Jonah. Claimed I was emotionally unstable, and had cut off family support, isolating the child. I dropped the letter right on the floor. I felt my legs go cold. For a second, I thought maybe I was dreaming. Then I snapped into action. I called a lawyer. A good one. I had money now. A job. Records. Grades. Jonah's report cards. Statements from his teachers and camp counselors. And I had that video, the one the university posted. The one where I talked about how I raised my son alone. When we showed up in court, I was ready. My mother looked different. Nervous. Like she didn't expect me to fight. Her lawyer started throwing out phrases like family concern and emotional distance. Claimed I'd created a hostile environment. My lawyer stood up with a stack of documents and said, "Your Honor, she's a single mother who earned a degree, got a full-time job, and has provided for her son without issue. The family she's isolating him from didn't even attend her graduation. This is not about concern. It's about control." Then he pulled out the photo of them at the lake house. I watched the judge's face change. 2 weeks later, the petition was denied. Not just denied, laughed out of court. The judge said it was a gross misuse of the court's time. When I walked out of that courtroom, I didn't feel relief. I felt something colder. Like they'd declared war on me, and I'd just fired back. I didn't tell Jonah about the court thing. I just told him everything was okay. But I knew now, this wasn't over. I'd embarrassed them. They were going to try something else. 3 months went by. No more legal letters. No more texts. Not even a voicemail. It was quiet. Too quiet. I used that time to tighten everything around me. I updated my will. Named Jonah's godmother, my old professor, Mrs. Rhodes, as his emergency guardian. I got legal documents in place, locked down my job benefits, even updated Jonah's school records so no one could pick him up but me or Mrs. Rhodes. I wasn't paranoid anymore. I was ready. And then, one afternoon in early September, I got a call from Jonah's school. "Hi Ms. Barnes, we have a situation. Your mother showed up here, said she was supposed to pick up Jonah today." I almost dropped my phone. "She's not on the pickup list," the front desk lady added. "We didn't let him go, of course. He's in the office with us now." I was there in 10 minutes. When I walked into the front office, there she was. My mother, sitting in the plastic chair like she belonged there, flipping through a parenting magazine like she wasn't trying to kidnap my kid. I didn't yell. I walked straight past her, signed Jonah out, and took his hand. She finally spoke when I turned to leave. "You're being cruel, Sarah." I stopped and looked her dead in the eyes. "No," I said. "Cruel was making me feel like I didn't matter. Cruel was pretending you cared when it made you look good, and disappearing when it didn't. Cruel was taking a child's big day and throwing it away for mimosas." She scoffed. "You're still holding a grudge over one event?" "No," I said calmly. "I'm finally enforcing boundaries over every event you failed me." She didn't move. Just stared at me. Jonah looked up at her and said, soft but clear, "Don't come to my school again." We left. That was the last time I saw her face in person. Here's the part one haven't told anyone, not even Jonah. I filed for a restraining order the next day. Submitted school records, texts, the court case, everything. It was granted. And then, 2 weeks later, I went further. I contacted every extended family member who was at that lake house and sent them each a letter. Not emotional. Just facts. What happened. How they all RSVP'd. The picture. The court case. The school pickup. I ended the letter with one sentence. "If you continue to engage with her attempts to interfere with my life or my son's, you will be included in the next round of legal action." I sent every letter certified. I have the receipts. I didn't hear a peep after that. 2 years later, I was promoted at work. I moved us into a townhouse on the edge of Prospect. Jonah made the honor roll. I took him on our first real vacation, just the two of us, Myrtle Beach. One night, he and I were walking the boardwalk with ice cream, and he said, "Remember when you graduated, and no one came but me?" I nodded. My throat tightened, but I smiled. He licked his cone and said, "I'm glad it turned out that way. Now we don't have to pretend." He was right. There was pain in the beginning. But there was power in the end. I didn't get revenge by yelling or fighting. I got it by living well. By making sure every time they think of me, they know they don't get to be part of the life they thought I couldn't build. They thought I needed them. Turns out, I never did.